YouTube, what is popping? What is good? We're back with more talks about the Dualsense Edge, as there's been new videos that have come out about it. So let's check it out and see what they have got to say.
コントローラーを企画するにあたって我々はハイパフォーマンスなコントローラーとは何なんだろうというのを自問自答してきました。
プロコントローラーのそのコアなバリューって何なんだろうっていうのを本当に自分に質問してですね、でその中で我々が出した答えは
ユーザーを強くするコントローラーであると今回定義づけました。
いろいろプロゲーマーのインタビューとかをしていて、やっぱり人によってこだわって使いたいポイントがゲームタイトルによってもそうですし、個人ごとにも違いますので、そういったニーズにしっかり応えられるような広い調整能力を持ったコントローラーが必要だと考えました。
デュアルセンスエッジをデュアルセンスワイヤレスコントローラーと同じにですね、フォームファクターにするっていうのは、実はこのデュアルセンスエッジを作る時からですね、最初から決めてたことです。
今回実はデュアルセンスワイヤレスコントローラーのポストモーテムも行いまして、でその時にユーザーさんから本当にたくさんのポジティブな意見をもらいまして、特にエルゴノミクスものすごくみんな大好きだと言ってくれました。できるだけそのデュアルセンスと同じフォームファクターにしてくれっていうリクエストをいただきました。
Oh, it looks so good in the so close-up shots.
しなきゃいけないので、その代わり
Looks so sick.
いろんなフィーチャーがアドオンされるわけじゃないですか。だからその中身をエクステリアでもって抑え込むのがすごく難しかったですね。でそのプレイスタイルを選べるっていうのも一つ重要なファクターだと思ってます。もう手に馴染むっていうことと自分のプレイスタイルを作れるっていうこの2点がすごく重要だと思ってますね。
今回スティックキャップ取り替えられますし、バックボタンも取り替えられますし、スティックモジュールごと変えられますし、
Entire stick module can be swapped. There's a dedicated function
バッ
for
クボタンのバリエーションなんですけれども、あれは特に特定のゲームだったりを想定しているわけではなく、やはりそのプレイヤーの皆さんがどんなものを好み受け入れられていただけるかっていうことを念頭に置いて形を決めました。
スティックキャップの形はデュアルショック4以降新しいコントローラーを作るたびにどういった形がユーザーに求められているかっていうのをリサーチとどういった形がいいですかっていう社内のユーザーテストっていうのもずっとこのエッジコントローラーの開発以前から定期的にやっているんです。
to figure out what is the best ideal dome shape
取り替えられるようにしてユー
preference.
ザーのリクエストの
So
高
that's a
い
lot of
ものをいくつかピックアップして
attention to
採
detail.
用しました。
A lot.
デュアルセンスの開発の頃からですね、バックボタンの
So that's a black version of the
もうその中で検討した形状というのがずっとハーフドームの形なんですね。
even when was
でそれがですね、我々ですね、
for us
日本
Japanese
人に
people
とって
they
はですね
vote the
囲碁の
board
ですね
game
この
game
形にすごく似てるんで、囲碁だ。よく
Yeah,
FPS を
I'll be using the DualSense with
ジャンプと
Call of
ですね
Duty.
武器チェンジ
I cannot wait to map those buttons to slide and jump.
そんな形で今設定してます。いろいろ設定はできると
You
思
can
うんですけど
configure them in a lot of other ways,
そういったセッティングで
but that's my usual go-to setting. See, he's even doing it.
スティックモジュールを交換できるっていうのが長くお客さんにそのコントローラー使っていただく
Very important ensuring that
かなり重要
customers
な
can
ポイ
use
ン
the
トになっていると思い
controller
ます
for a long
交
time.
換はできるんだけども、
So although it can
プ
be
レイ中はしっ
replaced,
かりフィックス
we
す
were
る
able
通信
to
の
design
信
a
頼性
structure
も
that's
メカ
highly
ニカル
reliable
な
in terms
安
of
定性も
mechanical
信頼性
stability.
も非常に高いような
With a
構
dependable
造っていう
signal,
のを
the same goes for the
メカもそうですし
mechanical.
電気のコネクタ側
mechanisms
も新規に設計し、ここまで
This is
この
like
実現する
extremely important USP
ファン
to
クション
this
ボタン
whole
って
controller
キーボード
and
と
its
かでは
price.
皆さんよく知ってると思うんですけども、やっぱコントローラーでは
But this feature was almost completely missing from gaming
機
controllers
能になってまして、
Yeah.
ファンクションボタンっていうアイディアが出るまでは
until we had the
本当にその
idea.
たくさんの機能、そのボリューム
And this is really important only because hold on, give me a second. Pin this to the side. Put it there. Yeah. So it's important because to have stick modules, it must be extremely sturdy and stringent within its compartment. As you can see, it's you probably wouldn't even know it's a stick module until you take off the faceplate and then you take out the module itself, which is put into place. Because I saw it, there was like a lever that you release to release the stick module itself.
も調整したりとか、ゲームをチャットを調整したりとか、プロファイルをスイッチしたりとかっていう機能を
The great things about these clips and these shots as well is that it's showing us things about the DualSense controller that we hadn't seen before. Like already, I noticed there's two details I've noticed. Look here. As you can see, this is basically the 4 grips that I mentioned in my last video about the DualSense. Can you see that it's the PlayStation buttons? All of this here, these markings are the PlayStation buttons. That's a really nice detail that they don't even mention. They also have the PlayStation signature type buttons or whatever on the back. On the triggers here, you also get the markings of the PlayStation controller buttons.
実装するのかっていうのは、とても悩ましかったですね。
もともとですね、プレイヤーの皆さんからセッティングをですね、プロファイルだったりオーディオの設定をですね、
as well as like seen as many times and I need volume.
で、オーディオの音量をこう上げたり下げたりしたいなっていう。
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people have mentioned that being able to adjust the volume with just a controller in your hand is really good and convenient. From game audio to voice chat audio, that is like super good.
割と個人的にもあったので、それはすごく
And these are the functions how they look on
かなりいい
screen.
のかなというふうに思ってます。
See what I was talking about in terms of the PlayStation engravings is on the actual trigger itself right here. That is dope. And these are things they didn't mention in their first campaign of pre-ordering this controller. Look, you can even see them here, as I mentioned. And I'm guessing they're referring to this as the grip. It's like a comfort grip.
私みたいなプロじゃないライトのゲーマーでもトリガーに関してはシチュエーションによっていろいろ
Now this is dope. Another thing they don't mention, they didn't mention before. When you adjust the triggers, you would think it's just an automatic thing. They just adjust and that's it. But you can actually see the adjustment resistance per profile on the screen here.
自分が快適な状態にカスタマイズできるのがエッジコントローラーの魅力だと思います。
See, look at
ゲ
that.
ームの場合は速い反応が欲しいので
This interface looks nice and simple to understand as well.
ピンゲームですと
See, this is a nice
ハイパフォーマンスなコントローラー
shot.
は何なんだろう
Let me go
と
back.
いう
とかゲームをチャットを調整したり、プロファイルをスイッチしたり。
割と個人的にもあったので、それがすぐにできるっていうのは
なプロじゃないライトのゲーム
That was a nice shot
トリガーに関しては
of the
シチュエ
controller.
ーションによっていろいろ自分が快適な状態にカスタマイズできるのがエッジコントローラーの魅力だと思います。ファイティングゲームの場合は速い反応が欲しいのでショートストロークのトリガーがいいですし、ドライビングゲームです。
Right, so again, this is, I guess, what they regard as the grip. You see how it's like more rigid and this part is smooth. On the standard PlayStation 5 controller, it's all smooth, but here they have the grip, and the grip is essentially the PlayStation insignature engravings. It looks so sick. It does look sick. Makes you seem even more. It emphasizes the attention to detail, basically.
そうアクセルとブレーキの細かい調整とフィードバックが欲しいので
And this shot here actually makes me want to try out Gran Turismo. I'm not gonna cap.
フルストロークが好みです
I proper do want to try Gran Turismo watching
コン
that.
セプトを考えに至るまでのプロセスっていうのが非常にエキサイティングな仕事でしたね。で今回そのコンセプト強くなりたいすべての人たち Stronger っていうコンセプトに至ったんですけども、そのプロセスが本当
Yeah, you see, there's the engravings there. So essentially, you're getting more grip or comfortability with the triggers just because of these little things here, as you can see.
に面白かったですね。
And that's the whole thing. We'll just check out one more video. Perfect your gameplay. Excellent. So we'll just check out one more video where they actually use the controller. Here we go.
The choices you make now will define the legacy of Hogwarts.
Let's see what they have to say when they actually played it and see it physically. Alright, here we go.
Hey everybody, Jada Griffin here, Community Lead. We're at Sony headquarters checking out the new DualSense Edge. All the new features that they've shown off in the trailers and on their website, it's got what we hoped for. The customizable profiles for different games, all the different button mappings, everything you think this controller can do, it probably can.
DualSense Edge, the first hands-on.
The DualSense Edge is the new premium version of the DualSense controller for the PS5, offering advanced customization options and a variety of new features. With the ability to adjust button layouts, sensitivity settings, and even haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, the DualSense Edge allows players to tailor the controller to their
Ah, it just looks so sick.
It also has new function buttons, back buttons, and the
It's
ability
basically
to
out in 1 month.
quickly switch between multiple controller profiles. The DualSense Edge has a fancy new touchpad that features a repeated pattern of face buttons. There are new
Yep.
function buttons below the analog sticks, which are used to reprogram buttons on the fly, and around back, there's a pair of new switches next to the triggers, which let you adjust the minimum and maximum range for pulling the triggers. Its textured grips are a welcome improvement over the current DualSense offerings, and you can easily swap out the thumbstick caps with any of the 6 included in the box. Or, with the flip of a few switches, remove and replace the analog
That's actually
stick
going to be
buttons
really
on the
good
front.
for me.
Arguably, the biggest selling point of the controller is the 2 slots on the back. which
Because
allow
when
you
I'm
to
playing
use
fighting
the
games, I don't want the sticks in the way
or back button.
because I use a D-pad.
Everything
So I'll be taking them off completely.
you want in a premium controller. Connecting the DualSense Edge adds a new menu to the PS5 settings section where you can customize the controller's inputs. You can disable or double up on button inputs, swap almost any input to another, and adjust dead zones and sensitivities. An on-screen image mirrors your
That's gonna be
inputs, giving
sick.
you an easy to understand visual representation of what you're doing on the controller and how it will affect the output. This made it extremely easy to make minor or major adjustments and immediately understand how it would affect my actions in-game. The DualSense Edge can store 3 customizable and 1 standard profile on the controller itself, giving you access to them no matter where you are, even if you connect to a different PS5. Profiles can be swapped.
Hopefully you
by
can
pressing
name
the
them,
function buttons along
just
with
so
the
that you
force button
can
and face button. This enables you to map
keep
different
track
control schemes to
of
different
what's what.
profile slots for any game you play, giving you the flexibility to adjust your settings on the fly. You can even store up to 30 controller profiles per PSN account
It's interesting she's
and slot them into the
playing
customizable
Street Fighter
locations
because
as you see fit.
that's one of the main
Constantly swap the system with my
reasons
controller based on
I'm
whatever
gonna
weapon
get
I
this,
end up with.
because Street
That's
Fighter
the precision of a mouse and keyboard on a PC,
ideally
but it
requires
has the potential to
3
help shrink the gap. The
6
DualSense
buttons,
Edge is
but the
slightly heavier
PlayStation
than
controller
the
has
PC
4
controller,
on
but
the
it's balanced quite well.
face of
It
it.
most of the weight to its center, so it's hardly noticeable. The new function buttons are easily accessible without obstructing your standard inputs. and
So
give
those back
customization
buttons are gonna
that
come
never
in
happens on the
handy.
controller. The controller's new back button options are also likely to be popular as they give you access to
Speaking of Street Fighter, I will have
that require a lot of
another Street Fighter
or
video
controls that you want to access
from the
without
demo,
taking your thumb off the analog.
sorry, the
You can use
beta,
them to mirror another
out
button,
soon.
giving you 2 options for that designated input, or unbind another button in favor of using the back button for its input. The buttons felt solid during my hands-on time, and they were sturdy enough to be used for various button mashing events in God of War Ragnarok. The only thing I was a bit put off by was the thin casing covering the analog sticks, which has a glossy finish that felt a bit cheaper compared to the other parts. But that is a small cost in exchange for the ability to easily swap out the analog sticks should they ever begin to suffer from drift. Overall, the DualSense Edge is a highly customizable and versatile controller for the PS5. While its price makes it a steep ask for the average player, its advanced features and customization are poised to make it an excellent choice for PS5 players looking to take their gaming experience to the next level. For more on the DualSense Edge PS5 controller, check out our DualSense Edge episode of Beyond, where we discuss various aspects of the controller. And
that's
everything
pretty
else
much
about
it,
peripherals
really.
and PS5,
That is
easily
pretty
swap out
much
the analog sticks
it.
should they ever begin to suffer from drift. Overall,
So, in conclusion, in the flesh, the controller looks just as good as advertised, as you'd expect from Sony. I'm really impressed with the level of detail they've added to the controller, and I knew there'll be parts that they left out in their marketing campaign for the controller, such as the grips are the PlayStation signature symbols alongside the grip. There's also grip on the triggers. They don't mention that. And I guess their design philosophy, which was to keep the controller, as in to keep this controller exactly like this, but with additions.